Hi, it's Jessie with Shine Yoga. Today we're doing our first video for YouTube here in the new studio. I'm very excited. As always, consult with a doctor before starting any exercise program, and I want you to check in with your body frequently. Don't force poses, kind of build up slowly. By participating in this exercise program, you agree that you're doing so at your own risk, and you assume all responsibility for any injury to yourself and agree to discharge Shine from any and all responsibility. All right, so here we are in a new beginning. So we've got a new beginnings quote. And suddenly you know it's time to start something new and trust the magic of new beginnings. So that's what we're doing. Start a studio in the middle of the pandemic, new beginnings. It's gonna be great. If you are in the studio, we have a mask and stuff, but since you're at home watching this, we do not, all right? So we're gonna come to the top of our mat. This sequence, we're gonna need weight through the hands, okay? So there's just several poses you can still do even if you're unable to bear weight in your hands. So we're gonna do like a half a sun salute, okay? So I'm gonna turn sideways so you can kind of see what I'm doing sideways the first time, and then I'll turn back this way for the second time, all right? Inhale, we reach up and look up. Exhale, we swan dive forward with a flat back, right? And then we come here to our forward fold. Now, if you are here, or the earth seems very far and you're very rounded, it's okay. What you want to do is squat down, put the ribs on the thighs, and then you can reach the earth, and then drop the head and straighten the legs. And then on our next inhale, we'll come halfway up with our flat back, and then we exhale, folding over. Inhale, big arm sweep up, and we reach up and look up, and we bring the hands down in prayer, all right? So now I'll do it forward. Ready? Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, swan diving down. Inhale, halfway up with a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, big arm sweep. We come up again with a flat back. And we bring the hands down in prayer. So now we're just going to check in with the body, okay? Sometimes just doing that little bit, you can feel like a difference in your energy. So we're doing mountain pose. We're just going to stack our bones. We're going to put our feet hip width apart, put the knees over the ankles, hips over the knees, shoulders over the hips, and lift from the back of your head. We'll put our palms facing forward. So we've just stacked the bones. We're not like forcing it back. We're not wilty and tucked. We're just stacking the bones, pulling the belly button in to support the spine, and take a few breaths. And if you want to kind of challenge your balance, go ahead and close your eyes. If it's too big a challenge, you might want to go stand in a corner so that when you close your eyes, you start to lose your balance, you can reach and catch yourself, okay? And now we're going to go right on to tree pose. Now this is a single leg balancing pose, right? So again, you might want to go to a wall or a chair. Oh, I went out of frame. A chair or a wall. Something that you can hold on to if your balance is a little touchy today. We're going to start by putting our weight into our right foot. You can put that left toe down, leave it down for balance, or you can put your foot on your calf, or you can bring it on up into your thigh. All right, so you just go wherever you're the most comfortable. I'm going to go calf today. We want to make sure we skip the knee because we don't want to like shove it sideways. That could hurt the knee. So we want to foot on the calf, right? So now what about this leg? Sometimes you'll see people really, really going out like 90 degrees out. If that feels excellent to you, go ahead. For my body, it feels better a little closer to 45 degrees, all right? I'm gonna pull my belly button in to kind of stabilize in the core. I'm gonna check out here. My tendency is kind of pop my hip, so I wanna make sure I brought that into a nice straight line, squeezing that glute on this side, and then check back in with your hips, kind of level them up, bring the hands into prayer. Everything comes to center. And we look at something off in the distance that's not moving, all right? And if you're like, man, I feel so stable and I just want to grow my tree, on your next inhale, you can grow it. If you get up there and you're like, I don't like how that feels, or my shoulder doesn't like it, bring the hands right back down, okay? And hands back to prayer, and we're gonna come out. I always kind of scrunch my toes here, because your feet are doing a lot of gripping. Maybe that feels good to them, right? And then we'll shake out a little bit, give that leg a break, and then we'll put the weight into the left leg, go through the same process of figuring out where we're gonna put our foot, right? And then we pick our spot, we check in with the leg, we check in with the hips, we pull the belly in, hands together in prayer, looking at something off in front of us that's not moving, and we're kind of pressing everything center. If we want, we grow the tree. And then we bring the hands back down. And we come out. Scrunch the toes, right? All right, so we're gonna do like a high lunge here with kind of angel wings. Again, I'm gonna show you an option if your shoulder doesn't like it, to arms overhead, so there'll be two options. So we're gonna put our feet hip width apart again, and we're gonna take the right foot back like it's on a ski, just come straight back, okay? And then we're gonna kind of come up on the ball of that right foot. And then we'll bend the left leg. So as we bend that left knee, I want that back leg to stay straight, front knee bent, but don't bend it like so that it's way over the toes. You want your ankle and your knee to be lined up here, okay? And then hips come, you stand up tall, and your shoulders are over your hips, the ears over your shoulders. And then we'll raise the arms overhead if that feels good, or just keep hands on hips if it doesn't, okay? All right, so this is a high lunge. Inhale, exhale, and on our next inhale, we'll come here and bring the arms back and squeeze the shoulder blades together for our angel wings, and then we inhale up. Oh, exhale up, sorry. And then if our shoulders did not like that, here's the other option. We put the hands on hips, inhale, we squeeze the shoulder blades back, exhale, we come back to neutral, all right? And raise the arms overhead, and bring them down to angel wings. And again, overhead, and back down, squeeze those shoulder blades. We release the arms, we bring that right foot up, we step the left foot back, right? Now we come up onto the ball of foot, a little bit of bend in that right knee now, bend in the right knee, keeping that left leg long and straight. And then we can either put hands on hips and squeeze shoulder blades together as we inhale, come back to neutral as we exhale, or we raise arms overhead and bring them down to like a half angel wing. Arms overhead, or back and squeeze shoulder blades. One more, overhead, and back and squeeze shoulder blades. And we release the arms, and we step right back up, okay? So now, I want you to go to the long edge of your mat, okay? And step wide with your feet, so that when you put your arms out like a T, your wrists and ankles kind of line up, all right? So you keep going this way, and I'm gonna go this way so you can see me, all right? So we're gonna take our left foot then and turn it, for you it'll be toward the front, right? Bend that front knee, float the arms, and look over our middle finger. Pulling that belly button in, we keep the torso upright so you're not leaning forward or backward. You're right here. Make sure that knee's not caving in, but it's kind of spiraling out. This is a Warrior Two pose or Virabhadrasana. On our next inhale, we'll flip that palm. Inhale, reach up, and that other arm come down the back. And we're gonna bring this front arm down, cross it over onto the front thigh. Bring that other arm up by the ear. straight line from our fingers to our feet. Now we're gonna turn the torso so we could smush it right up against the wall and look to the ceiling. And then we're gonna push with that front leg and use that top arm to kind of propel us up. Turning that foot in and turning the other foot out. So you may go to the back of your mat now, or you might want to turn and face the other way. All right, but it's gonna be the same setup, right? We're gonna bend the front knee, float the arms, look over the middle finger. Flip the front palm, reach it up to the sky. And then bring that hand down, cross it on that front thigh, bring the other arm up by your ear, turning the torso so you could smush yourself flat to the wall, looking to the sky. Maybe lower that hip a little. We push with that front knee, we use that top arm to come up, bring that foot in, and we heel toe together. We're gonna come to sitting. So we're gonna sit in a cobbler's pose, Baddha Konasana. So we're gonna put our feet together and bring them back toward us a little, okay? And we're gonna kind of use our hands on our ankles to pull us up nice and tall. If that does not help you feel tall, if you're still pretty rounded, due to some tightness or stiffness in the muscles, you can roll a blanket and put under you, or you can sit on your block, and that ought to give you enough space to be tall, all right? And we'll sit here, take a couple breaths. Now, if you're on your block, you can stay on it and kind of take that right leg out, leaving the left leg in. Or, if you're fine on the floor, you most certainly can do that as well. Here we'll want to take our strap and put it around the foot, using that to pull us up to real nice and tall, kind of looking toward our foot. And we're going to start by kind of hinging forward. Well, we'll start getting up tall, right? And kind of hinge forward, but only as far as we can go and kind of keep a flat back. And you start to round, that's where we'll stop. And then we'll pull the belly button in and fold over in flexion, just taking the hands wherever they go. And we walk the hands back up, and we switch sides, all right? Right foot comes in, left foot comes out. We take the strap, we sit up tall, we hinge at the hips. We take a couple breaths here, and we pull the belly button in and fold over into flexion. Again, as far as the body wants to go. And after a couple of breaths, if you can go a little farther, that's great. If you can't, that's okay too. And we walk the hands back up. We're going to come to our belly, all right? We're going to put our hands on top of each other, our forehead on our hands, our toes together, and our heels apart. We're going to take a little break here. Really try and relax the muscles around the tailbone. This is a good pose for that. We're going to lift our head and chest and bring both arms back to our side. We're gonna have kind of thumbs down and pinky fingers up, right? And we're gonna point our toes, pull the belly button in, squeeze the glutes, and then we lift the head and chest a little, we lift the legs a little. It's more important to be long in this than it is to be like jammed up as high as you can. We're gonna bring the hands up under the shoulders and push up onto our hands and knees. We're gonna put our knees kind of wide, our toes together. We'll sit back on the heels. Now, if your knees don't like that, again, welcome to sit on your block. That'll give you a little more space, or put a blanket in between the hamstring and the calf. But if your knee likes it just fine, go ahead and sit back on your heels. And then we'll fold over for child's pose. So we put our arms overhead, but again, if your shoulders don't like that, you can bring your arms down to your side. All right. All the poses are really about just finding the best version for your body and doing that. And this is Adho Mukha Virasana. And we come back to hands and knees. And then we're going to make our way to sitting. We're going to have the knees bent. And we're going to lie on our back so the arms out like a T. And as we inhale, we'll drop both knees off to the right side. As we exhale, we'll bring it back to the left. Inhale to the right. Exhale to the left. And we're just going to keep going at your own breath pace for a little bit. Only go as far as it's comfortable to you. If it's comfortable for you to let your knees go all the way to the earth, great. If you just are kind of going real small movements in the center, that's okay too, wherever it feels good to do so. And by syncing the breath, then we kind of calm that nervous system. By only moving places that feels good, we tell the body it's safe to move, okay? Which in turn calms the nervous system. It's kind of like, oh, I was really on high alert, but it turns out this is okay, this feels good. And then sometimes as that nervous system calms down, you find you can move a little farther. Or sometimes just as blood flows through the muscles. We're going to come back to center with the knees. And we're going to bring both knees into the chest. Kind of give ourselves a little hug. Maybe rock a little bit for a knee to chest pose. And I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to do a happy baby. So we're going to kind of bring the knees out toward the armpits. And then we'll bring the feet up. Right, so maybe you just hold on to the back of the hamstrings because that, may be what's most comfortable for you. Or if you can reach up and grab the outside of the feet. Kind of pull those hips and knees towards your chest. We'll take a little breather there. Another stretch that we can do lying on our back is going to be a thread the needle kind of stretch. It stretches our piriformis. So I'm going to turn the other way for you. And what we'll do is we'll take the right foot and cross it over the left leg there. And then we'll just kind of push that knee away. Pushing that right knee away with the right hand. Take a couple breaths here. And if you want, you can stay right here. It's a really good pose. Or You can pick up that left foot, taking the right arm through the hole in your legs, reach behind that left leg and kind of clasp that, the hands together on the hamstring. And then we'll take our right elbow and push away the right knee as we kind of draw that left leg closer to us. But again, if you try this and it doesn't feel good, just come right back to the last place that did feel good, okay? And release and switch. So we'll cross the left leg over the right, push away, take a couple breaths. We can stay here, or we can lift that right leg and thread the needle. And release. And then we're gonna go ahead and lay the legs out flat, just a little bit farther than hip width apart. And then let's let the legs flop out. Or bring our shoulder blades up under our body. So let's kind of squeeze them together. We'll put the arms a little bit away from the body with the palms up. Rock the head a little bit to make sure we don't have any tension in that neck. Check out the jaw. And then we'll close our eyes for Shavasana. I'm going to do a quick Shavasana. So I'm going to ring the bell when we're finished. And you can sit up then, or feel free to